Hello friends, Happy Kitty Shop here. Meow. Welcome to my blog. Here we go. What's up YouTube? It's Happy Kitty Shop here, and we are 3 days away from Wicked, and I've been sewing like crazy. I don't know if I'm making enough or too much or too little, but I made this little bat guy. I've been wanting to make a little bat plushie. There's this artist called B, and she does like really cool little bats, and I thought I liked the way they use the Halloween patterns or whatever kind of patterns. I'll link her description below, but kind of inspired by it, and I've always wanted to make a bat plush, so it's just my own design, and I might change the face eventually, maybe the smile. It looks good on paper, but sometimes it doesn't always come out good. But yeah, I might eventually sell the pattern. I'm not sure. But he was really easy to make. As you can see, my room for doing anything is very limited. So I'm watching YouTube while doing this. I'm making the Reese ghost to go with my pumpkin, and I'm gonna make a bat too. And you can see I have a little friend over here. Right, Sam? You go, boy. Want some Starburst? You helping? You be my mama helper? Keep forgetting to vlog my progress of the plush I'm bringing to Wicked. Halfway to Halloween. You got Curly here. I made some name tag, sorry, not name tags, price tags. I also put the character's name too. A little doodle of him. And I'm making hats. One black with red and one orange with black. I had to dye it a little darker because it came out like really bright orange, and I don't want it that orange. So yeah, that one's gonna have black horns, and more to come. So we're at the hotel now. We made it. The GPS took us through Boston, and it was a nightmare. All because we have to load in on Friday for a one-day con. Wonderful. Took 2 hours to drive here, and it's another 27 minutes to Salem. I am so tired. I'm 24 hours without sleep. I was finishing up things from the table, so my husband's getting coffee. And then I have to load in a couple hours, 7 something. That should be fun. They want me to drive on the cobblestones and not run into pedestrians. Should be interesting. And then get there tomorrow again at like before 11. I don't know. I'll probably I have some Happy Kitties to still finish, so I'm sure if I'm bored at the table, I'll just work on them because I am beat. Hi, Sarah.
Ooh, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
One foot in the grave. You doing okay?
Yeah, pretty good.
Not too busy, huh?
No.
Not yet. They're coming.
Okay. This is the bathroom. It's like a dungeon. Here I am. Same mass, wicked. Halfway to Halloween. Table's slow so far. I'm trying to vlog more. I'll show my table later. Wish me luck. Hi guys, it's now Monday. The event is over. I am so tired. I took a day to just catch up on sleep. I am super exhausted. I was also depressed too. You know, I work really hard. I lost a lot of sleep and I barely made much money. I didn't even make my table cost. My table cost $150 and I only made $100. Yeah. I sweat my butt off. I was dragging stuff all up the cobblestones of Salem, and I only made $100. Only sold 5 things. I don't think much customers enjoyed how hot it was. I don't think any of the buildings in Salem are air conditioned. Definitely not this one. They only gave us some relief by opening the windows, and we barely got any of that air. A lot of customers, but there was a lot of chairs by the wall that people would sit in to get some kind of relief because it was nicer outside than it was inside. Inside, everyone was baking alive, like we were in our own little horror movie. I still have a lot left over. Little baddie didn't get a home. Poor baby. I work so hard. I always want to make a bat with the Halloween print. I've seen so many artists do with different kinds of bats, and I want to make my own version of a bat. I did buy a pattern, but it was just too... I wanted something more easy to make. I might eventually make a pattern to sell, because it's kind of been tough for us plush artists. No one's really buying anything. I know it's been bad. Everything's more expensive. Now we got the tariffs. I hope I don't have much European things to ship out for customers because it's going to cost me an arm and a leg. Literally. Thanks, government. Thanks, terrible presidents, you know. I don't want to get into politics, but it's affecting us artists, and we're already struggling as it is. So, anyway, they are going to do this event again next year. I'm sure it's only because they sold a lot of tickets. $15 per person. Yeah, I don't think any of the other vendors made as much money either. It seemed like a lot of people were just walking around. If I saw them with a bag, it was a very tiny bag. I'm lucky I sold at least 5 things. I don't know how anyone else's experiences is. Like I said, if it didn't sell, it will be in my Ko-Fi shop. I no longer sell with Etsy. Etsy sucks. They charge 3 fees. They are ridiculous. And because there's so much AI crap on that website anyway, that you don't know what's real and what's not. Yeah, so I only sell with Ko-Fi. So if you want to support me in my work, and if you like anything, if you have extra money, don't do it if you don't. Obviously I won't tell you what to do if you need the money, you know. It's times are tough nowadays, you know. Yep. I don't. I think it was poorly managed. We were forced to come in the day before just to set up, and I was planning on coming just like a few hours before just to set up, which my setup was not that complicated, but I was pretty much forced. And it sounded like if I didn't come, I was like forced. I wouldn't even know if I'll get my refund or not. Because he emailed me next day. I'm just making sure you're coming still, and you'll still be there Saturday. It's like he was already trying to like give my table away to someone else. I don't know. It was very poorly managed. I know it was their first time doing it, so I'm trying to be too hard on them. But it was hard getting in and out. We were pretty much on our own for everything. He gave us a little trick-or-treat bag with some water and some snacks, which I really appreciate. But then he gave a little note, like, these are directions how to get out. And then, I'm pretty much on our own on that. No one to guide you, where to go. I barely saw any staff members. One staff lady, when I was getting my badge, she knew who I was, but she didn't ask for my ID, which is kind of sus. She didn't give, she knew who I was, but said she wanted to be my first customer. I never saw her again after that. I thought I saw her again. It looked just like her, but I could have been wrong. She went to the lady, my vendor next to me, ignored me, didn't even give me any eye contact, like I pissed her off somehow. I don't know what's up people's butts sometimes, but, I'm like, I didn't do anything because I came in late. I don't know, but whatever. The vendor was really nice next to me. I asked her, do you do this a lot? And she said, yes, but not like this. This is different. And I think it was not in a good way, different. So, there was a lot of kids. Of course, kids want my plushies because they are cute and colorful, and they want them, but their parents don't want them, so they try to get them away from my table, as always. I had charms in a little bowl because I didn't really know what to do with them. I'm trying to get rid of my 2 Undertale charms that have not sold yet. This little boy took one of my charms. His mother was sitting on the wall. He brought it up to her and was like doing this at me, and like I try to be nice. I'm like, those aren't free. And then she just looked at me and then just had her boy bring it back. It was just very weird. She just let him take my thing, and then, oh, he's a kid, She didn't say anything. She just looked like she told him to go back. But, take it and let their kid get away with that. And I had some kids come up to my plushies with sticky stuff all over their shirt. And I'm like, oh my God, please don't get it on my plushie. And I checked after, and there was nothing on the plushie, so thank God. I also forgot to mention that I used Square Tap and Pay, which was really it worked well. I didn't have to buy a separate thing for it. The internet there was really good, so it did work for people that did want to buy. No one used cash; everyone used card. Some of them I had to manually put their card in, but because they didn't have tap and pay, so yeah, and I got paid the next day. The only thing is, I was stupid and somehow had it connected to Etsy, and Etsy's like, I'm gonna take some of that earnings out, even though I pretty much did nothing. So yeah, Etsy took like 20 cents out of each transaction, so screw you, Etsy. I hate you. I found a way to disconnect it, but yeah, I was really pissed. Speaking of being pissed, this event allowed these AI people, I'm not calling them artists, they're not artists, they're thieves, to sell their stuff. And the fact that people buy it and don't even realize what it is, I mean, there's people out there that just buy bootlegs, People don't care about quality, I guess, anymore. They just want to buy crap. So yeah, screw you. AI is not art. You stole it. Stop using it. Oh my God. It seemed like customers were suffering too, how hot it was in there. It was sticky, muggy, gross. If I knew that ahead of time, I would have brought a fan. So if any of you do go to this event, I don't know what to call it. It is super hard to search for this event too. They give such a weird, they say Wicked, and then people think the movie or the play or something. If you put Wicked New England, I think you find it on Google. they should have gave it a better name. I don't know, a name more easy to search, you know. Those are my nitpicks. Anything not sold will be on my Ko-Fi because I am against Etsy. I will still buy from them. Only like fabric. It's the only place I get Minky now. Rest in peace, Joann's. So sad that they're gone. I try to spend as much money as I can to get any other things that I could get that I need from them. I used to work there. I worked there for at least, I think, over a year. I was a manager. I grew to like some of my employees. Yeah. It's really sad that all these businesses are going bankrupt, and we're charging even, you know, more now. We're doing tariffs. We're doing great. Anyway, so yeah, there's a bunch of stuff I did not sell, so it will be on my Ko-Fi. Hopefully we can give these babies a home. So yeah, that's my experience with Wicked halfway to Halloween. Leave a comment down below if you had a different experience, and if you did have a better one than me, let me know, because I like to know everyone else's experience, you know. Thank you to the people that came and suffered the terrible heat as we did. Thank you for your support. Thank you for buying from me and just coming to say hi, you know. We love Halloween, and we want to support Salem and it's the beautiful witchcraft and witchery. I love these scare actors. They were so nice. I feel bad. They had to keep walking up down the halls, and they were in character the whole time. They were so cool and so detailed, and some of them were just very funny. I have a couple of that in the video, as you probably saw. But yeah, how can I rate this experience 1 out of 10? I'll probably give it a 5. But yeah, I will not do this event again. Warning to anyone who does do it, and if it's the same time of year, bring your own fan. And don't expect to make much sales unless you are selling something that's $2 each or something. So yeah. Yeah. There was at least probably 3 crochet artists, plush artists. Nothing like me. I don't see the people like me much. Plush makers like me are usually My Little Pony makers. Yeah, I hope there's like more of us nowadays, but it's hard, you know. People like crochet plushies. I'm not the biggest fan of them because you can see the polyfill inside them, and I just feel like I'm just gonna poke my finger in there. I feel like crochet is more like sweaters to me. That would make for plushies, but hey, everyone has their own opinion, you know. Anyway, if anyone had a better experience than me or whatever, let me know in the comments down below. I'm repeating myself, sorry. I am so tired. But yeah, stay safe, everyone. Hopefully things get better, and I'll talk to you next time, whenever that is. Bye.